coming from Puerto Rico, transitioning to Brooklyn? Like, how old were you when you moved over here?
So I was 6 years old, you know, we were in a tough situation in Puerto Rico. My mom literally just picked up and left with my other two siblings and said, we out, we going to New York. I was the yes man go-to guy. My boss would be like, yo, I need you to cover this slot overnight. Let's go. He was like, I need you to cover this. No problem. I need you to cover this. No problem. It came to a point that he was like, yo, I need you to sacrifice one Saturday a month, which was my best days in clubs, for you to be here and do my overnight shift. I said, you know what? Done. I was doing that and the radio. I worked 24 days one time straight that I ended up in Wyckoff Hospital in Bushwick with a headache. It was burned out, my body burned out. But you know what? I said, this ain't gonna stop. I kept on. I worked from the ground up to where I'm at right now.
Dímelo con el que lo que. You already know. Podcast Central. Coastal Chronicles NYC. I'm your boy, Tank Sinatra, a.k.a. Taino Domingo. You know the lingo. Call me anything but late for dinner because I love to eat. And as always, you know I got my brother with me, the Activation King. Last motherfucking episode I said New York City. I'm bugging the fuck out. We worldwide out here, you feel me? Dren Star, tell the people what the fuck is going on.
Yo, what's going on, man? What up, YouTube world? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Dulce Lounge, Coastal Chronicles NYC. Big shout out to my Rock Nation family, Paper Planes. As always, it's invite only. You know the rules. I'm not going to keep saying what I'm saying. But we got another dope guest. We're going to get into it. You're going to do your monologue. You're going to do what you're going to do. And let's get it.
Listen, man. Keep commenting. Keep subscribing. Keep telling a friend to tell a friend to tell their other friend. Even if you want to talk trash, go ahead and do it because we don't care, man. You know what I'm saying? You just feeding our algorithm, man. Just make sure you hit that notification button when we drop, man. And with that said, let me get into it, man. He fell in love with music as a kid in Arecibo, Puerto Rico, watching performers tear up the stage at fiestas. By 6, he was in Brooklyn, soaking up the raw sound of the city and building a deep love for all kinds of music. At 14, he was already that kid stacking busted speakers out of the window, blasting his mixes for the neighborhood, grinding in the basement house parties. Wherever there was a crowd and a socket plug, every gig, every mix, every beat was fuel for the fire. In 2007, he started cracking into New York City's club scene, fighting for 30-minute sets and proving himself night after night. By 2008, he dropped his first mixtape and launched the DJ Carlito Mix Show online, pulling in tens of thousands of listeners from the US to Europe. Word spread. He started rocking clubs coast to coast and landed high-profile gigs, including the official DJ slot for Daddy Yankee at the Brooklyn Three Kings Day Parade. When he got his shot to broadcast on La Mega 97.9 FM, he didn't waste a second. He studied the boards, learned the gear, and sharpened his craft from the inside out. Now he owns the #1 afternoon spot on La Mega, delivering his signature energy and street-smart charisma to listeners across the globe. He rocked the sold-out arenas like Madison Square Garden and Barclays Center, dropped 21 mixtapes, and earned 4 Latin Mix Award nominations, winning Best Club DJ in 2014. In 2022, he officially became a heavy hitter DJ, cementing his place among the elite. He's still moving heavy, spending 5 nights a week, flying city to city. The same kid from Puerto Rico who once played pretend on festival stages is now shaping the sound of a generation. He's a DJ, a hustler, a voice of the people. His name, DJ Carlito. Dímelo, papi.
What's going on, man? What's going on, man? It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. I got the phone call, and I couldn't say no, you know what I'm saying? My brother Dren hit me up, you know what I mean? And it's an honor to be here. Thank you. That intro was crazy. Like, I've never really heard someone narrate, like, pretty much from the beginnings of my youth to where I'm at now. And it's dope. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Shout out to Creations by Lady J. We always get it right over here, man.
Thank you.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I was born here, but you know, you can hear by the accent que tú sabes que soy dominicano, so my family is from over there, but I'm first generation American, but my roots is always going to be DR, so I want to start from there. How is it coming from Puerto Rico and transitioning to Brooklyn? Like, how old were you when you moved over here? And
so I was 6 years old. You know, my mom, you know, we were in a tough situation in Puerto Rico. My mom, you know, just picked up and literally just picked up and left with my other two siblings and said, we out, we going to New York. 6 years old, what am I going to say? No? Remember, it was an American Airlines flight from San Juan to JFK. They were still giving the food. Remember back then they used to give the food in the 80s. So, you know, got to Brooklyn, to Bushwick, and it was like a different world.
Bendito.
First train, the M train was in the overpass, and daba medio frío because it was October, so it was a whole different world because I'm used to the hot weather, running around barefooted, playing manhunt, tag with the kids, busting my toes open, you know what I mean, and to come to this, like it was a whole different world. So, glad that it happened because I think that everybody wants to, live the American dream. So,
Did you when you came from PR? Did you know English or no?
Absolutely not.
Oh, wow.
Not one word of English. Maybe maestra, teacher, piso floor. You know what I mean? That type of words because in school, the songs, but that's about it. Nothing else after that.
Wow, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
Yo,
So,
piso
be-
floor.
you know what I'm saying? I gotta take it back.
I mean,
That's
we're not gonna skip. We're not gonna skip. But the fact that you came to New York and you only spoke Spanish to be on radio, the #1 Latin station.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's wild, bro.
It's incredible because when I first came here, back then it wasn't La Mega. It was another radio station. And then it became La Mega. And what Spanish parent don't listen to La Mega? Mm-hmm. You go to the local bodega. You go to the local restaurant. You go to a local probably 99-cent store, supermarket. The taxi drivers, they all got La Mega on. You know what I'm saying? So, growing up listening to the radio station and being there now as the voice, pretty much the voice of New York because I'm dominating the 3 to 7 slot with my co-host Nila Rosario, 3 to 7. I'm voicing over in New York City and across the world, throughout the app. So it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't done alone because obviously, but it's definitely a blessing. You know what I mean?
So let's rewind a bit. Before
Sure.
you started, before you got your radio gig, I'm sure you was hustling, you was putting work in, you was, everybody starts out local, the neighborhood, then you do mixtapes and
Right.
How did your career flourish from the beginning to where you at now?
So
what were the steps?
I going to high school, I met a few friends, Salvadorian friends. His name is Victor, and he was a DJ. And he used to do like baby showers, Sweet 16, little small parties. And I used to help him, carry the speakers. It was like the big Gemini speakers, the amp rack. Bro, he lived on a 4th floor.
Oh my God. A walk up?
A walk-up.
Oh.
No elevator.
And
That's
with the crates.
different,
With
bro.
the, no,
And with the crates,
forget it. No crates because it was like a CD rack with the amps. But just alone, the amps were heavy as hell. So I would help them with other fellas, and we'll go up. I used to not get paid. It's free. And one day, just looking, and I would press. Back then, the Gemini mixers had like the sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
They had like farts and like things like that. So I used to be like, ah. He's like, yo, bro, instead of you doing that, why don't you learn how to do this? I said, you know what? Jodiendo. I was like, vamos a ver. We started doing jams. In the basement parties. The jam. We used to go by the light in the local 99-cent store, the one with the lights, by the smoke machine. So we used to throw parties and make bread. I'm talking fake, like a fence, literally a fence around so nobody could come and bother us. Long story short, kept on. I learned through there. I got my own equipment. And I just started like, doing my own thing. But prior to that, when I was younger, I used to play the speakers out on my window. I used to play the güiro. They used to call me Carlito Guirero because I used to play the güiro. There's a cop across the street. He once saw me. He said, I'm your speaker because you just don't let. But it was just I always had the love and passion for music. You know what I'm saying? In Puerto Rico, I used to go and dance with the artists like Olga Tañón, El Bicrepo, Grupo Manía, El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico. I used to go up there and dance. I always loved music. And then one thing led to another, and I just said, you know what? This is what I want to do. Let's go for it. In 07, I started doing little CDs, LimeWire downloads, track by track on iTunes. And I was giving it to my boy in the corner of Stockholm and Knickerbocker, where I grew up at. And my boy told me, yo, bro, like, why don't you talk to Ant and tell him to bring you to the clubs? I'm like, damn, you think like he really gonna, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna talk to him, fam. And I always tell him, my boy Manny, always thankful and grateful to this day for telling me that. So he spoke to my boy Young Ant, and back then, 07, reggaeton was popping. That was the reggaeton era.
Boom. Yeah, the boom. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's Puerto Rican and black, but he didn't know about reggaeton. So he's like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna bring you into this club called Remy in Queens in Astoria. But his partner was like, nah, nobody knows him. Like, I don't know.
The bullshit, the politics.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta be popping.
Yeah, you know
He
what I'm
don't want
saying?
to take a chance.
His name is George G. The Press, BBPNT. And Ant was like, yo, I DJ with him in trophy parties, which was the auto club parties, because I was, you know, down with the whole auto club thing with the loud music. That's where the name Carlito came from. I had a station wagon that was before the Chucheros. This was before the Chucheros. Before this was when the speakers were on the doors, with the door poppers, with the JL audio kicker, the square kickers and all that era. I ran through that era in that. He's like, yo, I DJ with him in the trophy parties. Like, let's give him a shot. Gave me a shot. 07. Boom. I started doing 30-minute reggaeton sets between the hip hop and like the little CD book. Shit was skipping the times and all that, but you know, the nerves. Then after that, the guy was like, yo, you know what? Come every Saturday. So every party they were doing, I was in it. I did TNY. I don't know if you remember TNY downtown, and Midtown. And yo, it was reggaeton. So then after that, I started transitioning into like the English music. I always listen to the English music, but it's easier to listen than to learn it and get to it more to be a DJ as to like, you know, get to it into what it is now. I started grabbing it. Let me get that. Bought my first computer. Transition. That's when Serato came out. I didn't know how to go from CDs to Serato, because I was still stuck in the old school thing. Like, yo, go for it. Did it. And I'm like, wow, big difference. All the songs are here. I ain't got to look for it. All I got to do is type. I started doing OE Lounge on Steinway. Okay. Bombay Lounge right next to it. Kept on doing it. I said, you know what? Let me drop this mixtape. Let me start trying to get my name out there. I'm going to use this tool to give it to promoters. And this is how I'm going to get my name out there. Got it. My boy's like, yo, I got a studio. Come through. I got you. I got this DJ. His name is DJ 38. No doubt. Happens to be he's Notch's DJ. No, Notch. One day he's like, yo, ven pa' acá. Hoy vamos a empezar. Yo, when I get there, Notch was in the studio. The dude does my intro. I did the intro to the Tony Montana. Dun, dun, dun. And he's like, DJ Carlito, Notch. It's Club Madness, Volume 1. Crazy. He didn't charge me. I did it. Everybody went crazy. I'm like, yo, this shit is dope.
So he co-signed you.
He pretty much co-signed my first mixtape. It was crazy.
Okay.
I'll go to promoters giving it. I ain't gonna lie. That shit didn't work, though.
What?
It did not work. I had a promoter tell me to this day, 2 promoters, which they're good friends of mine now, Hams and Diego, Ramsack. They were doing a club in the store, and I went, and they told me straight out, they're like, yo, we don't book DJs off of mixtapes. We got to listen to you live. I was like, I respect it. So what that made me do is keep working, grinding, kept on, did mixtape. I was doing 3 to 4 mixtapes a year. And just give, especially Puerto Rican Parade weekend.
You had lit.
Oh, I was doing 5,000 mixtapes.
Mandatory. Yep.
Flyers with my face on it, with my, you know, back then it was MySpace. Know what I'm saying? MySpace info. Then I bought the program MySpace was selling to blast all the flyers at the same time. It was like
all the accounts.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, you know, I had help. I had, you know, someone I was with was helping me. And they were doing my MySpace, and it was blasting. And then after that, came 2014. I got discovered by Lito All Pro, which was Flipstar's manager. And they were coming to, that's when Uptown DJs started coming to Brooklyn. Like, yo, this is crazy. What caught his attention was a 6x9 fly with my picture on it. And back then, All Pro didn't have no Brooklyn DJs. So he co-signed me, then Pro Style co-signed me. I became All Pro DJ. I went into the hip-hop world. From a reggaeton set, I went into the hip-hop world. Just rocked it. Then, you know, after a certain time about that, everybody went their ways. Everybody stood neutral. We were all good. Just stood friends. Just kept rocking. In 2015, I remember to this day, AJ Callejero, he was working at SBS, and he's like, yo, listen, man, you want to come in, but it's going to be a street team job, promotions. I'm like, yo, bro, at this point, I do it. It is what it is.
Do whatever you got to do.
I got to start somewhere, right? He's like, yo, bro, don't let me down. You know what I mean? I went through like 5 interviews because from what I hear, there was DJs that were there before, and they were trying to block me from coming in.
Regular shit.
You know? Yo, this guy's going to come in. He think he going to do this and that. So I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I do whatever it takes. And right now, what I did, I said, I'm going to work my butt off. I did the street team for 4 years, carrying speakers, putting banners. Mind you, I'm DJ Carlito. I was clubs heavy. But I still didn't let that get to me. I said, I got to do what I got to do, and I got to make things happen for myself and make it happen. I was the yes man go-to guy. My boss would be like, yo, I need you to cover this slot overnight. Let's go. I learned the board. He was like, I need you to cover this. No problem. I need you to cover this. No problem. It came to a point that he was like, yo, I need you to sacrifice one Saturday a month, which was my best days in clubs, for you to be here and do my overnight shift. I said, you know what? Done. Yo, I need you for this. It was times I would get out of, you know, getting out of the shower from coming to work, because I was doing working a sales job for a company, which I ain't gonna give no free promo. I was working, you know what I'm saying? I was working for a company doing sales. I was a manager for them. And I was doing that and the radio. I worked 24 days one time straight that I ended up in White Gulf Hospital in Bushwick with a headache. I couldn't. It was burned out. My body burned out. But you know what? I said, this ain't going to stop me. Kept on. 6 o'clock. Yo, I need you to be here at 7. In Brooklyn. Station's on 26th Street. Let's go. There. Boom. I did the promotion 4 years. Yo, I need you to cover this shift. I'm sorry, I can't right now, boss, because I'm going to Montreal. I could start on Monday. He's like, all right, come see me. Did it. Next day came. Yo, we good? Yeah, come cover. Yo, by Friday, I was like, yo, what happened? What's going on? He's like, cover till further notice. Remember, it's September of 2019. All right. Got to December. Bosses came down. I guess I didn't know nothing about radio, bro. Numbers and ratings and that.
And that's the real business of it.
Right. So, big meeting, December, to close the year out. Boss from Miami comes. He says, give him the slot. Yo, my eyes teared. I had glasses on. I just didn't want to show the emotions, but I was like, chills. That's when I got the 7 to midnight slot. I did the 7 to midnight slot from September of 2019 through pandemic, going in every single day. Meanwhile, everybody was home. Mm-hmm. Did that, and then in 2023, what was it, December, I got a phone call. Like, we're thinking of putting you 3 to 7 starting the new year.
Ooh, prime time.
Can you do it? I said, can I do it? When do I start? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it came, then they pushed it from the original date 2 weeks after. So I was already like anxious, like, yo, when am I going to start? So I've been there now. It's been a year. It's been 15 months pretty much, almost 16. And ever since I took over, the numbers have gone up. Number 1 in the Hispanic. I've clocked number 1 as well in the general market, which is over all the radio station, including English and Spanish.
Wow.
Some is a tax that at the beginning people were like, And even myself, I was thinking, I'm not even gonna lie. Damn, is this a setup to get rid of me? I'm not gonna sit here and say, nah.
Yeah, because the way it happened was
But
it
the
was
thing
it was
is,
like almost too good to be true, right?
I was confident in myself, but the thing at the same time is like, yo, is this a setup to get rid of me? Because the person before that, that's what happened. But what is it happening? So I sat down with the big boss and I was like, yo, what's going on here, man? Like, let's talk. What happened? And you know why? Because you killed the night slot. And I feel like you the person that's going to do what they got to do in this time. And I trust you. I think you're that person. I say, you know what? All right. I won't let you down. Let's do this. Nice. So I got an amazing co-host. It's Nila Rosario, Emmy winner. She used to do news. She was an anchor. She did weather. She was a reporter.
So she's polished.
She's very trained, very well connected in the industry. Knows a lot of people. She's also Puerto Rican like me, and like at the beginning it was like, but now we're like unstoppable, man. Like
that's dope, man.
The connection we have, the dynamic that we have. It's just amazing. Like I can't, what I mean? I can't complain right now. Like finally got the big contract, like, that I wanted. Because I had one, but, again, it's a stepping stool. I make 10 years now, May 13, in the company, and I can't complain, man. Like it's an amazing accomplishment. It's something that, a lot of DJs dream, man, to be in the radio. And I always said, my hard work is gonna pay off eventually.
So did you envision yourself? I mean, you started out as a DJ. Some DJs want to be like the big club DJ. Some DJs want to be the radio. I mean, obviously you do both. But did you ever envision yourself like to be where you're at now at such a fast pace? I mean, in your mind, you probably think it takes long. But as I'm listening to you speak now, like it happened fast, bro.
Yeah. The fact that I got on the radio and then that in the amount of time that it happened, yes, it's fast, but the longevity of it, it's been a while. You know what I mean? I always tell people, like, this is like being an artist. There's artists who work hard for years and before they get that one hit song, they have to work 10 years.
They pay dues, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's no one out there that can say, este lambón, este le pagó, I work from the ground up to where I'm at right now. And I can go out and saying it that to this day I still don't do it. I just let my work speak for it. And I'm just gonna continue to work hard, you know what I mean? And do I want more? Heck yeah. A lot of people will probably be like, yo, I've seen people tell me, yo, you made it. I'm like, this is just the beginning.
Yeah,
man.
I'm not done.
This is just the beginning.
Oh, yeah, papito.
This is just the beginning, man. Because I always say one thing. It's always easy to go up and go down. But the hardest part is maintain. To maintain and be relevant is the most hardest thing that you can do. Because I want to stay here relevant. Yeah, everybody wants to be big. Who doesn't want to be big? As long as I stay relevant, I'm happy, man. So
Who did you look up to as a DJ? Like when you was grinding out and you was like, yo, that nigga right there, that's the one that.
So in the Spanish market, obviously, Alex was always.
He's a big homie, yeah.
That dude, you know what I mean? He's, a lot of respect to him. I actually seen him 2 weeks ago in our concert, and every time I see Alex, I congratulate him, and I always thank him for everything he has done for the Latino community. DJ Lobo as well, you know what I'm saying? He's another pioneer. And Johnny Famolari, Nori Cotto, DJ Cream. These are the guys, Casanova. These are the guys who, like, did the evolution in the radio world, you know what I mean? Like Johnny Famolari, he's the one who created La Mega Mezcla to be able to where it is now, mixing live as a jock on the radio and talking. So, and then in the English market, who didn't listen to the Camilos enough, Flex, you know what I mean? And even, the Bobby Conda, the job, reggae style, you know what I mean? And Red Alert was one of the other, that I used to always listen to, so in those two markets, those are the DJs that I, looked up to.
So let's talk about heavy hitters. What was that moment, that feeling when you got inducted to be a heavy hitter?
So the story behind the heavy hitters, man, it's been something that I wanted since I started in the clubs, 2007. Back then, if you was a heavy hitter in 2007, you was bigger than being on radio. You understand? So, opening up for Camilo, Ramo, you know what I'm saying? Pro Style was, you know, he was back and forth from, you know, Florida here. You had Big Ben, you know what I mean? Opening up and seeing hearing the drop, you know, seeing how popular they were. Of course, starting up, you want to be, you know what I'm saying? So I always was behind it. And, you know, young, unexperienced person, the first opportunity came with the first team, so I took it. But in the back of my mind, the heavy hitters was always that team. I got offered prior to becoming a heavy hitter to be down with another crew. And I honestly told that person, I said, if it's not heavy hitters,
I'm good.
it's nobody. So, you know, so when I got the phone call, you know, Camilo was like, this is one motherfucker that earned it. And to this day, I got inducted to that video in 2022. To this day, when there's conversations about when we vote who's gonna be in or what, Camilo always uses me as a reference. Even in the welcoming dinner, he said, if it's one person that that deserves it the most, it's that guy right there. I used to be behind Camilo. I go to Enough's parties, Cast One, Bugs, and I just, again, it was an earned title to be a heavy hitter. I'm with the Yankees of DJ.
The DJs.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? And the first thing I did, I went and copped the
Nice.
you know what I'm saying? I could have did my name, but I was so proud
to be down with
and so happy and grateful to be down with the heavy hitters. I said, okay, I gotta get my.
But how was that moment though? Like how was
it was you know, it was tears, but tears of happiness, excitement. Like it's the feeling is it was just a different feeling to, you know, hear. You know, I actually not here because normally they do the announcement on the radio, but it was through COVID. So they did it more on Instagram just to see my you know, my picture pop up as a heavy hitter approved. Yeah, that's fire. Man. You know, I always been around them, you know what I mean, and all that, but just to be, and the thing is that a lot of people's like, yeah, the DJ crew. It's not just the DJ crew. We're a family. And when we get together in the retreats, it's a whole different ballgame, man. Like, you know, the love that everyone shares for each other, like the help. You know, if you go down and the help is needed, they will be there. You know what I mean? So
how would you describe your style?
My style?
Yeah. All right, it's a two-part question, but go ahead, answer that one first, because I'll wait.
My style in what way? Like,
all right, so look, let me ask this other question first. Radio or the club? What would you prefer?
I like both, man. I like both.
Equally?
I mean, to me, the radio's not a job because I love what I do. So when you love what you do, it's not a job. I love entertaining people. I get phone calls of people excited. Just me picking up the phone and saying, hey, you are the caller number 9. You just want tickets to go see this person. Hey, how's your afternoon going? Today, I sent a message. I played Nadie es Eterno of Tito Roja. And, you know, I said, I know that Mother's Day is coming up. You know, especially this message goes out especially to, you know, people who have lost their mom. And I know it's hard, tough, but always remember that, you know, they're looking from above and always, you know, blessing you. And I got 4 text messages from 4 different people. You just made me cry. Thank you for the message. And those things right there are priceless, man, that I'm able to touch people's hearts just by saying a few words on that mic. The clubs, seeing the excitement of the people dancing and you know, jumping up, dancing, and even the request, man. A lot of the times people be like, it happens, man. You know what I mean? But it's just seeing them, you know, sing the, you know, the song when you bring the music down. I did a private event yesterday with the radio, and everybody was upstairs. I went down, and guess where I went? All the winners were. And you know what the winner told me? What are you doing down here? I said, well, you want me to be upstairs? I look at my boss's face every day. I don't see you guys. Yeah. I need to see y'all.
Fire.
I don't want to
those are
see
the people that are
I
tapped
don't
in.
want to see I see my bosses every day. Literally every day I see my bosses. I don't see y'all. Y'all don't see me. Y'all hear me. I don't know if you're listening. And I just want to say thank you.
You want to connect?
You know what I mean? Of course.
Those are the people that are your fans. Those are the people that got you in that slot.
Correct.
Yep.
Those are the people that vouch for you.
Correct.
So those are the people that
Those
you
are the
really-
people who's gonna continue to make
Exactly.
me keep my job.
Exactly, 1000%.
So
So now goes to the question:
the unique.
What would you rather? You know
What would I
I'm saying?
rather? I mean, honestly, man, it's the clubs is the clubs. You know what I mean?
Like, is the style different on the radio
Oh,
than it is
1,000,000%.
on live?
It's 10 times different. Because in the clubs, I could do whatever I want. I could play whatever I want. I could say whatever I want. In the radio, I have a playlist in front of me.
It's programming and politics, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that I play a song here and there, yes. But then there's times that I get a text. What are you playing that for? You know? And anybody that's been on radio that's looking at this right now knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, I love the clubs. You know, the radio's the radio, but definitely in that perspective, definitely the clubs.
Radio's touchy, man, because, you know, I come from that field, and, you know, a lot of people don't know the behind the scenes. The politics in radio are heavy. Like, you know, people think, you know, oh, I know Carlito, he's my man, you're Dren, you fuck with him, give him my... It don't work like that. They don't understand the politics of radio and the programming and sponsorships, and it comes from corporate down to you. And that's why sometimes when you show love, you get that phone call like, yo, what you doing?
Yeah. So I get DMs, I get text messages. In the clubs, people come up and I'm like, listen, programming comes from Miami. I can give you the website and you can contact Miami, because I signed the contract, and in that contract it states.
You play what we tell you to play.
No, not only that, you cannot take monetary, you know,
It's called payola.
compensation.
It's payola, yeah.
I don't like saying the word.
Yeah. You can't say it, I can say it.
So you cannot take any monetary, you know, like, you know, from anyone. I've had labels come to me and try to give me money, even though I've played things and it's in programming. I'm good. I get paid for that. I get a check every 2 weeks. It's fine. Because then the thing is that now I owe you something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't owe you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I get paid for it. It's there. I'm playing it. That's it. Or I don't want to be like, oh, yeah, que yo le di tanto a fulano.
Real quick, they saying that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One little miscue you have with that person, they're going to say, yo,
Over.
but yo le di tanto a este
Oh,
tigre,
tú no te
aquel día."
recuerdas?
I'd rather be
real
like,
quick.
yo, man, you know what I'm saying? Keep it neutral. Let's keep it how we got, and we good money.
So now, do you feel, because you're in this space, you've been in it for a minute, my opinion is that radio is not as powerful as it used to be because of all the streaming platforms. You know, back then, like you said earlier, it was mixtapes.
Right.
Like you knew that was a vehicle to try to help you get into the clubs. Besides the mixtape, it was radio.
Right.
There was no YouTube. There was no Instagram.
Yep.
You just spoke about MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have Spotify, you have Apple Music, you have all
YouTube.
of these things. So it takes away the fans that usually go in a car and listen to radio, because now you create a playlist.
Right.
You hear what you want to hear on demand, on site,
Right.
for free.
Right.
So do you feel that has impacted your job, like what you do on radio?
I don't think so. Because a faithful listener will be a faithful listener. You know, and the good thing about my slot is that not only we play music, we get information out. You know what I'm saying? So we get into like the topics of the trending topics, weather, you know, traffic, and like different things that go on that it catches the people's eye. Again, for example, a 50-year, no disrespect to anyone at the age bracket, or let's say a 50-year-old cab driver. They're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? They normally, Dominicano,
They programmed already. They stuck in their zone.
and they're gonna play La Mega. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The older folks who still have a rate, they're gonna. Now the younger generation is a little tougher to get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But believe it or not, the generation of the ages of 18 to 49, I was there. I was in that bracket at number 1 at one point. I was in that bracket at number 2 in that point in the general market, which is over every single radio station. The 25-54 market, I own it in all markets. 18 to 49. When I was at night, I was number 1, 18 to 34 in the general market. So that means that I had the population of the 18 to 34, which I think that's what drove my bosses to, because the incredibility of like, how the hell this guy got 18 to 34 when it's, again, it's like you say, the YouTube, the SoundClouds, the Spotify, the Apple.
The microwave kids.
What did I do? I don't know. I'm just being me and playing music. You know what I mean?
Is your show syndicated?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. As of now, no.
But
I've
on the app is worldwide.
The app is worldwide. Yes, in the app you can listen to it.
iHeart, all that.
Nah, no iHeart. No, it's not. It's their own. It's their own. It's called La Música app, and they have their own, which all the 13 radio stations, Puerto Rico, Texas, Miami, Orlando, Tampa, New York, California.
Wherever los Latinos.
Wherever SBS radio is at, that's where we're at. So the show is not syndicated. I have spoken about it. It's something that could happen in the future, you know what I mean?
So why did you, I know a lot about radio, so we're going to have fun with this. During COVID, why did you have to go into the station? How come you didn't do it from home? Was it something that the station wanted you there? Because you could have did it from home.
I know I could have. I never asked a question, to be honest.
Got it.
I guess, to be honest, it was just like the excitement to like, yo, I got my own slot.
Gotcha.
And then again, through COVID, we were all home, lockdown, bored as shit.
You wanted to get
That's
out.
true.
¿Tú me entiendes?
You
know what I mean? So,
fuck that.
you know what I mean? It got to a point that, the first probably 3 months, people were like, pero ya después de 3 meses, you was like,
yeah, like
you looking
you're
at
going
the
crazy.
Same 4 walls, you know what I mean? Yeah. And yo, I used to live in Brooklyn then, and I used to get to work in like 12 minutes.
Yeah, because that shit was bare out there.
Nothing.
That shit was like,
you know what I mean? So I guess that's why I didn't mind it. But to be honest, man, like that slot 7 to midnight is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. A lot of times people are like, yo, that slot, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was having issues with my partner because of the timing. I would leave home early, do the morning job, and then go from there to the afternoon, and I wouldn't be home till like midnight or more. And it was the same routine Monday through Friday. So, you know what I mean? I just said, bear with me. Bear with me. Everything's going to pay off. These are all challenges that you get thrown at. Yeah. You get thrown at. And there was many times, and I'm going to be 100% truthful. I'm going to quit this shit. I'm not going to do it. Because it was taking a toll on me. But then I was like, what the hell did I work so hard for so many years? To give up now? Yeah. After I got my slot? Nah, I ain't doing that.
So when did that point come where you left the other job and you made La Mega?
When I got the main paperwork.
Okay.
Yeah. When
so
I got
those 10 years that you was grinding to get that spot, you was still with that other job.
Yeah.
All right.
It was up until last year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
People always tell you on this show. Okay, you guys.
Yeah. No, we just had Pretty Lou here.
Okay.
And, a lot of people didn't know that he worked for UPS for 20 years, bro. Mm-hmm. While he was still grinding, hustling, doing the clubs on radio.
Yep.
He got a pension. Like, sometimes the industry is cool. It's a lot of glitter, but sometimes it ain't consistent. It don't come through. Like you said, you only working 3 hours.
Right.
So, like, let's be real. Like, 3 hours a day, but it's like you said, you love what you do, so it's not really work.
Right.
And you busted your ass for this shit. Like, I'm doing that. Even when you started, they put you at midnight or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to fill the slot. Because once your foot is in the door, bro, after that, it's up to you how you navigate the system.
Correct.
Now. You know what I'm saying? But
Correct.
it's hard, bro. It's damn near impossible to get in that door.
A lot of people think it's easy. It's not easy. You gotta grind. You gotta get. A lot of people get it easy. Because in this world, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it gets to a point of like, all right, yeah, here, it's given. Me, that's what I love about it, because it can never been like, yo, that was given to him. Nah. Nobody in this life could say that was given to him.
Facts.
Even from now, like even the people that work at the station be like, yo, este guayó la yuca. Because I did. You know what I mean? And I can be like, go stand up and be like, I did this, that, this, like this, like this, and like that. But again, I'm always thankful for everyone who helped me throughout the years. Because I can never, I would never, and that's why I say names from then. And because you always have to remember who helped you, who put you on, and who guide you through the steps of like, hey, do this. You know what I mean? I'm still learning. Because you learn new things every single day. I just learned about business, credit, and all this other stuff maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And what am I doing? I'm passing on the knowledge to my kids now. You know what I'm saying? Like, my son is 24. And what I did, since he was like 16, I put a credit card under his name, under me, with his social. My daughter's 15. I put the credit card under her name. At like 12 years old.
Yep.
They got credit.
Seeing that's dope, because when we grew up,
we ain't got none of that.
Nobody taught us that.
Absolutely not.
Bro, I had to go to prison to learn all of that.
We get a credit card and fuck that whole
Max out.
Now we in the fucking in the black.
I told when my son graduated like from everything, and he got his own credit card. What I told him, I said, how much is it? Oh, $300. I said, spend $150 every time. Pay that shit right back. Why he did like a few months later, 3 months, like, Dad, they raised me up. Yeah. I'm like, keep going.
That's what you got to do.
And now he's like, he got like almost $10,000 in credit. I said, you started with 300.
300.
Yeah.
Facts.
I have people hitting me up now and be like, yo, about the LLC this. Yo, can I? Somebody hit me up the other day. Yo, I'll spit the knowledge to you, bro. I don't care. I'm willing to help anybody. I don't care. The other day I was in a store, in a chicken place, and the guy's like, he was begging the guy to buy a chicken. He had $1. So I grabbed homie and I was like, yo, what you want, man? Like, yo, can I get this? I said, yo, whatever you want. I said, grab a soda. I said, there was one thing my mom always told me was, never deny food to nobody. Because you never know.
Way, yeah.
You could you could be here one day. And
I'll do the same thing. If you want to eat, I'll buy it.
No, I ain't giving you no money.
Because you're going to get high.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I mean? Bro, I've been in the spot where I've had to brush my teeth with soap. You understand what I'm saying? I've been there. Cutting it through the middle and going like that to get out of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. We all been there, bro.
You know what I mean? So to be where I'm at now, so grateful. You know what I mean? And I'm just paving the way for my kids to, they don't have to go through that. You know what I mean?
I want to talk about the Three Kings Parade real quick.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it,
bro.
Yeah, let's do it. That's fine.
So, first of all, you from Brooklyn, so
yep, I'm from Bushwick.
That's something major for you. The Daddy Yankee situation, how did that happen?
That was like a last minute thing. So what happened was, first of all, it was January of 2006. So January of 2008, what's the coldest month in New York? All right, there you go.
It's still snowing on the floor.
You know what I'm saying? So I got a phone call because they had a float and they had an artist, but they didn't have any equipment. I got a phone call.
Sound like some Brooklyn shit.
It's in Graham Avenue. I got a phone call. I'm like, yeah, I got equipment. When I got there, they're like, yo, it's going to be for Daddy Yankee. I'm like, what? It was so cold, though. I couldn't even feel my fingers. And he was just like, dale, like, play, Just playing and playing and playing. And I was just playing his music. And it was just, I was like starstruck, you want to say, like, or like in shock, in other words. Like, what the hell? Like, is this really happening?
And I really got Gasolina and all that.
Yeah, man. And I really got to DJ for him. I spoke to him. I came out in one of the news things, and you know, and came out on it, and my mom was like super proud. I was super proud, and this was before, like, the whole craziness. You know what I mean? So it was just an honor, man. Like, I wish that I would have got to meet him again after, to say, hey, you remember when you went to Brooklyn? But I'm pretty sure, because he was like, está frío con cojones. He want a hot chocolate. So I know there's some things that you remember.
Can't forget that. Being
So,
brick.
but I never got the chance to. But, you know, overall, man, it was a great experience. And, you know, now it's like normal. I was nervous back then, but now it's different.
So go ahead.
You sure?
Go ahead.
So, fast forward, and you doing Madison Square Garden and Barclays. How did those happen?
So Madison Square Garden was with the radio station. It was a lucky thing as well. I was with promotions, and I'm always been the type that I always carry my bag everywhere I go. And Tego was taking too long to come out. So they're like, Carlito, vete. Una computadora, emprende. Like, play music. It's the first song I started with, Me Muero Por Ti by Anthony Santos.
It's over.
Went crazy.
It's over.
And I just took off from there. When I mean I was nervous, like my hands were shaking. When the mic, I would grab the mic and my hands were shaking. I've never done an arena in my life, bro. It's 2017. Like this.
And that's a different type of energy. When you
shaking.
Yes, that's a different type of energy.
Shaking.
Garden?
Like this.
Sheesh.
We're talking about the world's most famous arena, where every artist wish they could perform, where every artist wants to perform.
Athlete,
The
everybody,
Mecca,
everybody.
New York City's, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Then Barclays Center was I got to do a Brooklyn Nets game. They called me up, Noche Latina, and they're like, hey, we interested in booking you, and I said, let's do it, and I did the halftime show.
Dope.
And then after that, they kept on, hiring me. They hired me for like 3 years in a row, and then after that, I did the Prudential Center. I just did it 2 weeks ago again. And I did the Kaseya Center in Miami 2 years ago, and it's just eso para mí ahora is like,
Carlito, you big out here, Carlito. Pause.
And I always say it. I will always remain the same person from when I started to now, because la humildad te lleva lejos. Once you start getting nobody could say in Instagram, they see me, yo, tigre siempre está fronteando, whatever. I'm just me.
Yeah, you gotta be humble, bro. You gotta
just me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm just grateful for life every day. I wake up and I thank God. When I get out my driveway and I drive off, I always do the cross, because you gotta be thankful, man. There's other people that don't have, the opportunity to be here today. How many people we lost during COVID? You know what I'm saying? Every day things happening in this world. We got even friends that are like, just, yo, fulano, mira. And then next thing you know, it's just, que le pasó esto, le dio. You got it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, how? If he's my same age. Before things would happen, people were like 70, 80. Cause be like,
I say that all the time, bro.
You know what I mean? And now it's like, the numbers are just.
Yeah. It's crazy, scary.
You know what I mean? So I'm just grateful every day,
I tell
man.
people all the time, man. Tomorrow's never promised, man.
Correct.
You got to take advantage. You got to activate now. You got to get what you got to get now.
Activation king.
You know what I'm saying?
You got it from the horse's mouth, right?
You know what I mean?
Word.
You know what I mean?
So what you got going on for the Puerto Rican parade? Because it's coming up.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
I got some big projects coming, man. Like
Fifth Avenue takeover's about to happen. We about to get dumb out there. You know what I mean?
So Puerto Rican Parade weekend it's always been a crazy weekend for me.
Is that your favorite activation throughout the year, or do you have? Because now you're on radio, so radio does the concerts. They do these little pockets of activations. What's your favorite? Is it the parade?
I'll say. I mean, I'm Puerto Rican, so it's definitely Puerto Rican Parade weekend. But to be honest, man, I love being involved in everything. Like if they call me for Ecuadorian parade, or bro, I just love connecting with the community.
culture, yeah.
I always love connecting with the community. Whenever it's got to do anything with the community, whoever's watching, count me in. I don't care where it's at. It could be in Queens, it could be in Harlem, it could be, doesn't matter. I'm there. I love being, I'm a community person. You know what I mean? Like, you've seen this chain here, it's Bully Sound Records. It's an independent record label who, is a good friend of mine, J.A. I got introduced to my boy Grizzly, who's the president of Bully Sound. He put me under the wing. He put Suave under the wing, Hollywood KO. You know what I mean? We the official Bully Sound record DJs. Did a community event in Harlem for Taino Towers.
Okay.
Yes.
And he was like, yo, come, face painting. They were getting people jobs. I'm in there. Afternoon joint, Fridays. I always go up and just, we would take pictures. So, you know what I mean? So shout out to Bully Sound Records always, you know what I mean? My brother Grizzly. Puerto Rican Parade. Right now, I am going to be the Grand Marshal for Yonkers Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Okay.
Big shit.
You know, for Yonkers. But Yonkers, is it? No, I'm lying. I'm sorry. My fault on that. Grand Marshal for the Bronx Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Okay.
That is June 14. June 1st is the Yonkers. And I'm the music ambassador. Es tanta parada que yo me... So, Yonkers Parade, Yonkers Parade, I'm the music ambassador. Yeah, I'm the music ambassador. And then June 14 is the Bronx Puerto Rican Parade, which I'm the Grand Marshal for it.
Fire.
Yeah, first it was the music, and then I guess they made an adjustment, and they're like, hey, so, los planes cambiaron. We're going to be... And I was like, would you be down? I said, of course. Have I ever been to Yonkers? Never in my life. But guess what? No, I never been to YO.
Wow.
Never been to YO. But I'm going to embrace it like if it's Brooklyn.
It's dope.
Because I know I got listeners out there and I know the community, you know what I'm saying? And then we got June 7th and 8th, which is the 7th is the festival in 116, which I've been doing a tent with my family, with Young Ant, the guy who, we've been there for like 12 years on 3rd Ave. Between 108 and 109, we do a stage, like a tent. And then Mega's back on the main stage on 112. So I'll be there like the whole day. That's why I show out like with like promo.
Yeah, this is the
flyers.
first year we have Dulce is actually doing something this year for
the parade.
And we pushed hard for that, like hard. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's the 40th anniversary for 116th. So it's a big deal.
So you guys are doing something.
We're doing something.
Yeah. So I'm very friends with the organizers, Nick. You know what I mean? And I've gotten plaques, awards from them in the past of like, And then on June 8th, it's the official Puerto Rican Day Parade, 5th Ave. So normally I do the radio station in Manhattan. And then Bushwick, in my hometown.
The car parade be going crazy out there still, right?
In Knickerbocker. No, it's not. It's a parade.
A parade?
Yes, it's a parade.
Wow, look at that.
So it's a parade. And I have my own float there.
Fire.
As you should.
Yes, I have my own float. I got a official sponsorship from a major company. I don't know if I can say the name on the podcast.
It's up to you, Bobby. This is your interview.
All right. So, Celsius Energy Drink officially sponsored me. Okay. And this is actually, you guys are getting the exclusive. Okay. Nobody knows this, but I'll say it.
You got me nervous a little bit. I'm like, I hope it's not another liquor brand.
Nah. I would not do that.
I'm like, you do radio, so you should know better. So I'm like, okay.
Exactly. So, Celsius Energy Drink officially sponsored the DJ Carlito float for the
nice, because those floats ain't cheap, brother. Those floats are not cheap.
So, yeah. So I got that. I just actually got the design for the shirts. I sent to do the design for the float. They're coming down with barracudas and giving us and they keep telling me, I don't know why, and I'm gonna look at the camera because they keep telling me that the not the government, the council people, like the local
community
assembly,
board, the community board.
Yeah, they got a surprise for me. I don't know what it is. They don't want to tell me what it is.
Okay.
But they're not telling me what it is. They like, we got a surprise for you that day. And it's gonna happen on your block.
You deserve it, bro.
What it is,
that sound like somebody getting they name put on the street or something.
And
like
you know
that.
what? but now that you say that,
Damn, man.
I was saying, I was thinking about that, and I was like, if it is, I hope it is, because I always say, why would I want my name on a street sign when I'm dead?
Facts.
Yeah,
I
respect
say-
to everybody, respect to everyone, because I worked on getting my brother Jinx Paul, rest in peace, his name on the street sign where he grew up at, but it's better. I want to be able to
Appreciate
see
it.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it for all
Respect
the
to how
thing that
things
you've
work,
done out
because
here.
I don't know how things work in New York City's office, but I want to see my name.
Listen, Brooklyn needs it, man.
You understand what I'm saying? Can I be the first one? I don't know. Whatever it is, I don't know. But I've done a lot for the community. I still go to my community. I get a haircut there. I don't forget where I came. I will never forget where I came from. No matter where I live in this world, I will never forget where I came from. Everyone knows where I came from. They nicknamed me Bushwick's Finest, and this was the hood that gave me this name. I did not.
Fire.
You know what I mean? And like the jacket says, it was all a dream. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just excited about the weekend. Like those 3 weeks. Those 3 weeks.
It's crazy. There's no rest.
Those
there's
3
no,
weeks.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's I'm going to Montreal, Canada next week. You know what I mean? And again, I'm just gonna continue going up. I'm just excited for. I always say this year's gonna be my year. This year's gonna be my year, and I always, because that's the only way that you're gonna continue to be. Because a lot of people make it and they be like,
It's goals.
I'm done. Nah,
It's
ain't no
goals.
done. Ain't no done.
So yeah, that's my next question. Like, obviously, you don't feel you hit the ceiling yet. So, what endeavors do you have next? Like, what do you?
So, I honestly want to do my own concerts.
Okay.
I definitely want to do my own concerts. It's something that I've been planning and working on for the last.
Listen,
year.
you're the face for it right now, so
Yeah, so
that should be an easy
I
layup.
would never want to step on nobody's toes, because again, I respect my peers. You know what I'm saying? I respect my coworkers, and will always have respect for my coworkers. I would never want to step on nobody's toes. Never done it, never will, and I would never want to do that. With the respect to everyone around me, I would definitely want to do a concert, and continue to bring more joy to the people. You know what I'm saying? I've been also thinking about starting to do like my own music, as far as like what a lot of DJs do. They come and they get an artist. They go into the studio. They work on a beat. They put an artist, and then DJ Khaled type stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to work on that as well. It's been something I've been wanting. What genre I want to do yet, I don't know, because everything now is pretty much the wave. One day is this, the next day is this, the next day is that. So
Jen calls it the microwave era.
right, those are things that I want to work on, and I ain't even gonna lie. You here, man? But I'm gonna tell you, a liquor sponsorship too. Believe it or not, and I'm not throwing the
Dilo duro.
No te estoy tirando la cuerda.
Dilo
but
duro.
It's always
Nah,
something.
listen, you have to put it in the
Listen
universe.
to me. It's always something that I always wanted.
Okay,
Believe
dope.
it or not, I've
That's
sent
great to know.
proposals. I've sent proposals to companies and everything. You know what I mean? I have a PR. You know what I mean? Izzy, my boy, he's the one that worked for me to get to the whole thing. So these are things that, working.
So, do you have management, or you handle your own business?
Right now, I'm handling my own business.
Okay. Did you have management before?
I did, but we had not a fallout, because it was a
Yeah. So
fallout.
sometimes things just don't align.
Yeah,
together.
no, and the person who it was, started doing other things as far as like personal work wise, and they didn't have time to
See, this is why I'm glad you said that. This is why.
Cut the middleman out is what you about to say.
Not even that,
Go ahead,
but
bro, say it.
this is why I don't do it anymore,
Yeah,
because
Ralphie.
I've been in this industry for over 30 years. I did management. That was my thing. That's how I know the people that I know, because it's a small. We all know each other, bro.
Right.
But it's not fair for the artists. Like when artists still come up to me, yo, John, what's up, bro? Boom, boom, boom. I said, you know what, bro? It's not gonna be fair to you, because I can't give you the time that you need.
Right.
And I know what it takes.
Right.
It's almost like babysitting and raising a child.
Right.
And yeah, I'm active, I'm loopy, I can get in rooms that you can't get in, I can make your life easier. But bro, I can't give you the attention you need.
Right.
And I know you don't want to believe it, but you have to believe it, because it's not going to be fair for you. And then what's going to happen is a friendship's going to be ruined.
Correct.
I'd rather you be my homeboy or my homegirl, and we can still chill.
Correct.
Than Dren played himself. He's busy. He could have got me on that stage. the politics is ugly, bro.
Yeah.
The politics and this music game is disgusting.
So when he told me, I respect it. We're still friends.
Exactly, which is a good thing.
We're still friends. We talk almost every day. You know what I mean?
And the flip side to it now, I don't want to cut you off. The flip side to that now is with social media, with these things that are going on, somebody could just DM you.
Right.
But then again, it's up to you if you want to handle that.
Right. I just recently got verified on Instagram, so now things are making it. It's becoming easier. Now I'm connecting with more, because once you're verified,
it's a whole different ballgame.
You know what I mean? So I'm even connecting with Yankee baseball players.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's you know what I mean. But
have you did Yankee Stadium yet?
Of course, I was there on Sunday.
I missed. What was Sunday?
Yankee Stadium.
Have you DJed in Yankee Stadium?
Oh no!
That's what I'm talking about.
No, not yet.
Okay, that's why I'm like,
it'll get
Sunday,
there.
I miss it.
It'll get there.
Damn, bro.
It'll get there. I thought you said you mean
Nah,
DJing.
yeah, DJing.
Nah, not yet, not yet. But they do have like Spanish night, Noche Latina, which is, it's hopefully something I could work on as well. But the problem is with that is at the time that it's happening, I'm on air.
Got you.
So
the game
why
is happening.
correct.
At the
That's
time
why I
it's on
think
air.
it interferes a little bit, but. What's impossible? There's nothing impossible.
But this is
or some shit like that.
This is hold on. We in 2025. This is not a secret. If you don't know radio, shame on you. Do your research.
Right.
But a lot of radio is pre-recorded. You know what I'm saying? And
not on mine, though.
No, I'm not saying on yours. I'm not saying on yours. But for like big events, like sometimes you might just have to do that. Like,
Right.
Let me just pre-record this one show because Yankee Stadium just called me for some big
Crazy,
time. Yep. You know who's on fire right now? Bad Bunny. He's running the market. You know what I'm saying? So like you get one of those opportunities, you have to show up.
Yeah. No,
You know
most definitely. And it's just like, again, through Instagram and all that, there's times that I'm like, damn, I would like a manager, because it can get overwhelming, bro.
Yes.
Believe it or not, it can get overwhelming.
That's double-edged sword.
You know what I mean? But
and then you have to be like the bad guy when you got to turn things down.
Right.
When that's your manager's job.
Right.
To sort your life out because things are so hectic. You're a businessman. You have a family. So it's like, like you said earlier, like you burnt yourself out one time, and you don't want to repeat that because then you got to scale back a little bit.
Correct.
And scaling back could be detrimental sometimes because you scale back at the wrong time when it says it's your time to go.
Yeah, like, there's times that, I go back and forth with like the owners or promoters and, but wow, that's your price is high. And I'm like,
bro, you're a whole brand.
Demon.
You're not just a DJ, you're a whole brand.
Exactly.
So they have to understand it. They have to respect that.
Correct.
And if they don't,
yesterday I got a phone call from a club in Jersey. Yo, Camilo gave me your number, boom. How, I want you for this day. Are you available? Yeah, I'm available. How much? Such and such. He's like, all right, perfect. Send me the picture. Send me the thing. I was like, can life be this easy?
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only in Jersey. That ain't the city, papi.
You know what I'm saying?
Sabe?
But gotta love the city. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, it comes with the territory, man. Mm-hmm. You always get the easy ones, and then you always get the back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I tell people, listen, like you said, I'm a brand. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on mainstream time slot on the radio. Does that matter? Maybe not. Maybe yes. But at the end of the day I got to stand my ground. And if I don't think it's worth it for me, I'm staying home.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, it's business. Time is money. You know what I'm saying? What do you feel? We about to wrap up in a minute. What do you feel about the Latino culture in the music space right now? Like, to me, like, we are running this space heavy right now, and it took us years to get here. I'm years.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And again, like I just said, Bad Bunny is one of the biggest.
He's from my hometown in
the biggest artist in the world right now.
So I was born in Arecibo, but originally my mom is from Vega Baja and my dad's from Manatí. So Bad Bunny is from Vega Baja. Bad Bunny packed my parents' groceries when they moved back, because my parents moved back to Puerto Rico in 2013. They've been there since. They retired. They just paid house, chilling. He packed my parents' bags before he blew up.
Look at that.
So
that's a hell of a story right there.
Crazy. And this one thing I always wanted to meet him to tell him.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? He's the biggest You know what I mean?
There's nobody bigger than him right now.
It's crazy.
Listen, when you dating a Jenner or a Kardashian,
But to
you
be
know you
honest,
done
like
made it
a lot of
somewhere,
people
but-
were opposing to that, man, because of,
listen,
you know,
it's
the
all
curse.
good, but
the
I'm just
curse.
saying that's how big from packing bags.
Right, so being there.
They, man.
You know, forget about that. The guy freaking hosted the Met Gala before last
That
year.
too.
You know what I mean?
That
He
too.
sold out Yankee Stadium.
This is what I'm saying. He's different, bro.
Like
So,
now he got people flying from all over the world
So
to
go-
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, he had a concert coming through my hood in Harlem.
And rumor has it
That was nuts.
that he's coming to the parade on June 8th.
I believe it.
He was invited.
He gonna close shit down if he comes.
You know what I'm saying? And this guy, and he's walking the streets like he's a normal person. He just went to Rincon playing domino with the viejitos. He stopped the other day with some kids on a bus stop that were in a school, took a picture. Like he's just living his life now.
I'm just glad we finally getting our just due, just as us as a culture. You know what I'm saying? Because people just don't, like, they don't get it. And it's like, it's finally, bro. You know how long it took for us to get to this
I remember listening to what was called El Underground, which is reggaeton now. That's what it was called before. El Underground. The Noise, Playero, you know, DJ Nelson, DJ Negro,
DJ Nelson.
Chiclin. Those were back then the people who were trying. Reggaeton, you know, underground could not be played on radio because of the words on it.
I remember one time, bro, I was with did you ever go to any of the Mix Show Power Summits in Puerto Rico?
Nah, I never did.
So, do you know what it is or no?
Nah, I don't.
So the Mix Show Power Summit was something that Renee McLean put together. You know, big music industry exec. And what he did was
I know who Renee is.
Okay.
I mean, he's very close with Enough.
Yes.
We actually just gave him an achievement, like a big in our last retreat in Punta Cana.
Yeah,
Renee's a cool guy.
So Renee's a beast.
Yeah, he's a
so
monster.
he was the first one to take all the national DJs from every market and do a retreat for them. You know how heavy they did the retreat? They might have got it from him.
Probably.
I'm almost 1,000% they got it from him. But he's from down here, Alias. You know what I'm saying? So he was the first one to do the Mix Show Power Summit where all the DJs, all the major market radio DJs, he gave them a thank you. And, you know, every year, 1 year it'll be in PR, the next year it'll be in DR, Mexico. He always picked a dope resort, booked all the rooms.
Exactly what we do.
Exactly. Booked all the rooms, and it was a thank you to the DJs. And, damn, I got lost. I forgot what the fuck I was going to say. The Mix Show Power Summit.
Went to Puerto Rico, you said?
Puerto Rico. I was with Echo. You know Echo, the producer from Puerto Rico?
Yes.
I was with Echo, right? So we're in the club. I forgot the name of the club.
Laser?
It might have been. It's a big warehouse. It's like a huge warehouse.
Nah, that was in one of the side streets.
Okay, well, this club was a huge warehouse. So me and Echoes is sitting on the stage, and he's like, "Yo, Dren, these niggas ain't feeling this shit, bro. Because this is the first time that we invaded Puerto Rico like that. And you know how them niggas give it up over there. They don't give a fuck who you are. They are.
Yeah.
They run that shit.
This is me.
Yes. So he goes, yo, we need to leave. And I'm like, yo. And you know, he's tapped in over there. He's tapped in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, you sure?
What do you mean we gotta go?
He goes, I'm dead ass. Like, let's get out of here in like the next 10 minutes because these niggas, they're going to light this up. And I'm like, you serious, bro? Half an hour later, they came in there. Brrr, Little John was on stage.
Oh.
Aired the whole place out. Just on GP, like, y'all not coming to Puerto Rico with this.
Right.
Like, we run this. This is our hood. I don't care about none of y'all.
Yep.
Like, y'all need to pass right now. And then now to see, like, how big it is, like, you know what I'm saying? It's
like the thing is that,
Talk
remember,
about checking in, huh?
like the reggaeton.
Word.
So for
Shit.
example, the reggaeton is Puerto Rico.
All day.
Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, Nicky Jam, Baby Rata y Gringo, Héctor y Tito, the Wisin y Yandel after.
Tego, yeah,
Tego
Tego's
Calderon
yeah,
after.
yeah.
Tego Calderon came out in 2004. 2004, the actual, like, yeah, it was 2003.
I was locked
No,
up.
wait. 2003 came out.
I was locked
right,
up on
you're
the
right.
island. Him and Nicky Jam had a fucking shit that stayed playing here.
2000,
back to
but
back.
2004 Lean Back remix came out.
Yeah.
That's
That's
when
when he got global.
No, but that's what I meant to go with.
Yeah.
2004, Lean Back remix came out with Tego. Tego Calderón, and that's when Fat Joe tapped into the reggaeton market.
Yeah, that's when it crossed
It
over.
just crossed over. Then you got Daddy.
Nori was the first
Then you got Daddy Yankee that came
gotta
out
give Nori his
with Barrio
props.
Fino with the whole gasolina and all this stuff. Then you had Camilo having Sundays at Lights Out Show, which was
It was all.
You know what's the crazy shit that is nuts? I don't even know if y'all remember that, but when I was locked up, they used to play DJs live set from whatever club that was happening.
yeah. So that's what I was gonna get to. So the DJ who brought reggaeton, the genre reggaeton, to here to New York and maybe the United States, I'm gonna always give the flowers to DJ Casanova. Okay? And anybody that knows Casanova knows that Casanova was the one who brought reggaeton into the market, into New York. If you don't, and I will get you an interview with him. This guy is a producer. He's a DJ. By far the best broadcaster I've ever heard on radio is called Casanova. He knows radio programming. He produces his house, it's just a studio on another world. Always respect that man. We're very good friends. I dropped the mixtape with him after Maria. And this guy was the one who introduced and said, Toma, brought it into New York City.
Fire.
Worked with Fat Man Scoop. I've done tracks with
Rest
White
in
Clef
peace.
and all that stuff. So shout outs to him. And after the whole scene burst into the scene, with the whole reggaeton, bro, to where we are now, like you're saying, it's just an incredible feeling to know that the Latinos are because now even you got English people coming to want to do something with a reggaeton artist.
Transition is huge.
Look
right
at
now.
Offset. What was Offset doing in Dominican Republic the other day? And Alpha brought him on actually.
That's his man.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
That's when you know.
papito.
I got
La
a crazy Alpha
salsa
story.
de nosotros es, ya tú sabes.
You know, and Colombia, Karol G, Fade, J Balvin, Brian Castro, Bless, Bele now, Capo, Maluma. Bro, it's a great feeling, man. Sech from Panama. El General was the one who actually just,
Tell him how J Balvin closed the whole spot down last year.
you know what I mean? It's crazy. And then you got the Dominicans with the Dembow. What was Dembow? Dembow is actually underground music from Puerto Rico back then. And they recreated it, starting with that. And look at where the shit is at now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You understand what I'm saying? Because, and then what? It's El General, Jamaican music. That's where all they all, it's just a temple from here,
Panamanian.
a temple from there.
El General is Panamanian.
Yeah. And guess what? He's in
Baby.
church now. I know his uncle.
Look at that.
Crazy.
And we still have a lot of work to do, man. And I say that because I'm gonna give you my Alpha story. You know, we do the Rolling Louds, and the first time in history ever, they had a Latino artist on the stage, and they had El Alpha
Wow.
on
Crazy.
the main stage.
Dominican
Yes.
artist.
You know what I'm saying?
That's his
So
man.
so
Crazy.
he's on the
Listen to
stage.
what he about to tell you.
He's on the stage. Shut the shit down. Went crazy. Nobody even there. Rolling Loud is all English. It's all,
Yeah.
It's all underground hip hop. It's 100,000 kids.
Yeah,
going
we're talking
crazy.
about Travis Scott
Yes,
and
that,
all-
that type of vibe.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So after he does his set, I'm with his team. I'm with his manager backstage, and I'm like, yo, what y'all doing after this? We got the Loud Club. We got our own section. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So he's like, yo, Dren, we need a section. I'm like, all right, cool. So I speak to the execs over there. I say, yo, Alpha needs a section. They dubbed him. Like, nah, they didn't even want to entertain it.
Wow.
So I'm like,
Are y'all crazy?
thank you. And I'm like, do you know who you just put on this stage? And there's 5 stages. He's on the main stage. So somebody knows who he is because
Right.
they put him on the main stage.
Correct.
But y'all not going to do that. Y'all not going to just use his clout and then don't act like
The guy
Like,
exists
you don't know
after he get off.
afterwards.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we don't have sections for him in the Loud Club. You know, the sections of 10K up go up to 50K and this and that. I'm like, bro, he'll buy the whole Loud Club, my nigga.
Shit, bags.
Like, he'll buy the whole thing out. Like, money's not an issue to him.
Right.
So she tells me straight up, she tells me, this Dren, look, there's no room there. Who do you want? That's like me trying to kick out Duce. I can't do it. I said, you know what? It's all good. I put him in my section. Had him in my him, his wife, his kids. They were stuck on a tour bus because you're not allowed. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, he was so grateful and so humble and had the time of his life. And he was like, yo, Dren, I just want to thank you. Like, you know, his kids got to meet the Travis Scotts.
Nice.
Like, and they got to just, like,
experience.
It's different, bro. Yeah. It's whole different, especially from where they came from.
Right.
To be in America.
Correct.
To light that stage up. And then they don't treat him. They would have never did that shit to an American artist. Ever.
Never.
They would have made sure from the rip that he had a section there.
Before he even probably got on the stage.
You know what's
Exactly.
crazy?
He would have probably been there before he
And
got
shit
Crazy
like
shit.
that is what gets me tight.
The crazy shit is, right, it's like how he asked you earlier about where we're at from where we've been. Only we can understand who El Alfa is.
Correct. I met El Alfa in 2014.
Oh, he was like this.
I have the picture.
He was like
El
this.
Pajón.
He was
Y una
like this.
cadenita así.
Yeah, he was like this. Masking and all
I met
that.
him at Arena Lounge in Richmond Hill, Queens. Never forget that. Humble. After that, I never met him again. I'm pretty sure he's still the same person.
Same dude.
You know what I mean?
Humble.
And didn't Bad Bunny just recently do Rolling Loud?
No.
No, who was it? There was a Spanish.
There was one more. It wasn't Bad Bunny though.
Who was it?
I forgot who it was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's just
So
again.
now see little
Now
by
it's opening
little,
the doors.
It's opening the door, and then even still, like my man, and I tell him the story like all the time. Every time he acts up, I tell him, I bring up the story because now I have him in our section. So my man's coming in and he's calling me like, yo, Jordan, I want the whole section clear. And I said, I got you, but I got an artist here. He was like, same thing. I don't give a fuck who the artist nigga is. I want the section clear.
Whoa.
And I said, I'm telling you now, this section will be clear, but he's not moving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was going through his own thing. He was stuck in traffic for 8
he
hours
was
in a
already-
Sprinter.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
already agitated. When I get there, I don't want nobody. I just want to enjoy myself because I'm already pissed off.
Right.
I didn't think it was going to take me 2 hours to get into this shit. Boom, boom, boom. Long story short, you know, he's, you know, we're respecting each other. I introduced him. He's still not.
Because he was still mad.
He was still mad. He was still mad. I'm like, yo, take some flicks. Come on. You know, Alpha's taking 1,000 pictures with the Douce bottle. Showing love. Doing.
Imagine what other artists would have been like,
Never.
I'm not touching
you know
this
that is
bottle
politics.
until you give me money.
Where's the bag?
Correct.
Everybody wants the bag, especially from a big brand like this.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So he's doing, again, he's being humble. He's showing love. Fast forward, right? 3 weeks later, he was with a shorty. So I get a call at 1 o'clock in the morning. I could tell he had me on speaker because I could tell the background noise. He was with a girl. Yo, your man,
El Alfa.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, what's up? What about him? Yo, he got a show. This is the day before. Yo, he got a show in Madison Square Garden, right? That's the dude that was in our section? I said, yeah, why? What happened? He goes, yo, you think we could get passes? I said, oh, now you want passes.
Oh, now you want.
Not because now he didn't understand the caliber of artist that he was. Until his homegirl told him, you know, she happened to be Dominican, and he goes, yeah, my man Dren, that's his people's. You know, dude, hit his manager up, yo, I need laminates, you know, good looking.
Right.
And my man stood in the garden, bro, sold out. And he stood there. And
It's
bro,
like
he apologized. He was like, bro, wow.
Yeah. It's like when I went to do this pendant. I went to the jeweler, and it was November of 21. And he's like, oh, stick around. I got an artist coming. I'm like, who? He's like, oh, Elvis Martinez. I'm like, oh, shit, my favorite bachatero. Stood back. Met him. Got his number. Humble as hell, man.
Dope.
Humble. 3.5 years later, my best friend.
Look at that.
All right? This guy, like, I just surprised him for his birthday in January. I out of my money, bought a flight to Santiago. Made him think that I was in New York. I sent him a voice note. And, oh, mi hermano, me gustaría estar ahí, pero, you know, rompe, blah, blah, blah. Literally, I was in Santiago. He had no idea I was there. And I popped up into Loveras and showed him.
That spot is dope.
He didn't know what to do, how to. I set it up with the band. Like after the fourth song, we were gonna do the happy birthday, and he runs the band as like after what song on what song. So he's like,
"What the fuck is this?
What are you doing?" So when he turned around, the video's on my Instagram. When he turned around, he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Tú me la vas a pagar." But I did it out of genuine love.
Yeah.
Because he's a good dude, and we have a friendship outside of the, like it's more of a brotherhood than like an artist and DJ.
Mm-hmm.
We talk. I call him. He calls me. I text him. You know what I'm saying? He got a concert now coming up with Raulín now this weekend, and I didn't even ask him. He's like, "Yo, you coming, right?"
You see, he started some shit. They were like, all right, he be popping up. All right, I hope he popping up to this one.
You know, and it's like, again, you just never know what a relationship with an artist who
there's nothing genuine in this industry, bro.
It's
So when
what
somebody
you do for them,
so somebody sees something genuine and they feel it.
So the story behind it was when we first met, took his number, never bothered him. Never, you know, because a lot of people will be like, "Yo, I got his number. I'm going to text this guy all the time."
Yeah,
never bother him.
Mm-hmm.
Met him November 2021. Never bother him until probably summer of 2022. And that I played a song and I put it like, you know, I put it up. He reposted it. And he told me, "Hey, I'm coming down September, Labor Day weekend. I want you to be there. I'm going to be in Passaic." I said, "All right, let's go." I told my girl, "Yo, come on, let's go." Took my girl, my good friend and his wife, made it a couples thing. This guy calls me to the stage. Like, "Oh, es que me tiene trepado en Nueva York, míralo aquí." Bro, I'm just playing his music again, all by programming. End of the night comes, and he tries to. And I'm like,
"No, we don't do
No
that."
te apures eso, papito.
"You're my brother." I said, "You want to pay me? Pay me with your friendship." All genuine, man. Another person would have took it.
Facts.
Yep.
Nah, I would never. And you know what? To this day, I thank God I didn't do that. Because honestly, his friendship means to me more than any money in this world.
Genuine friendship, man. And
You know what I
hard
mean?
in this industry is very hard.
Very hard.
'Cause
A
it's
lot of
always-
people is always interest.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, money's good, but I think friendship is better, bro. If you have a friendship and you have a genuine love for someone and everything, like I post stuff up and then it's all out of love. And even in general, like there's things that I post up on my, I don't get paid for it. I don't care. You know why? But it's just, if I can help you grow and build and I see your growth, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you don't gatekeep, bro. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people gatekeep. A lot of people in your position do that because, again, everything
And I could use my,
Of course.
You know, but-
everybody, yeah, we know that.
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
But that's why you're successful, bro. You have good karma. You have good energy. So when you do good business, the shit that's happening for you happens because you're a great person.
Yes.
Like you said earlier, nobody could ever say you act Hollywood, you act like...
Nah,
no, if this is who you are, this is who you are.
and the ones that probably don't know me personally. Because I tell them, "You don't know me." "Oh, pero tú... But what you want me to do? Walk around the mall and smile at me? I can. But if you say, "Hey, ¿cómo tú estás? Hey, mira, yo te..." I will stop and take a picture with you. No matter how I look. I don't care. You know what I mean? I always love to show love to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's what's just going to continue to drive, you know, the boat. It's going to continue to navigate it and get to, you know what I mean? So, but humbleness is the key in this world.
Yes, 1000%.
Humbleness is the
1000%.
key.
Brother, I want to thank you for pulling up to the Duce Lounge. We had a
thank
great
you.
conversation. Like I said, it's not an interview, it's like a conversation.
Yes.
Dope vibes. Give the people your socials.
Yeah,
let them know.
you know, first and foremost, thank you for having me. Like, you know, it's, you know, normally, like, I do podcasts, but I really don't. But, you know, again, like, you're my brother. Like, you know, we met through Instagram the first time, you know what I mean? And when I first hit him up, and it was just, I think I reposted something from you or something, and then we started following each other. We started talking.
We was at the Rock Nation rooftop.
Right, exactly, and we kept on. But I think that was the first time we met in person. But
Got it,
before
got
that
it.
was other stuff, and we, you know, kicked it off and you know, just appreciate it and you know, it's just, you know, then I got his info, I got my info, and then, you know, we seen each other at the club with Nate Sketchy that day.
Yes.
And that's when I first tried Do Say.
See, I was doing my job.
You know what I'm saying?
I was doing my job.
Activation
And it's not because I'm here, but in all reality, the drink is off the hook. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a cognac person, but it's smooth and the way it's mixed is the way he mixes it. It's good. You know,
I get that a lot.
Like, I'll be honest, I drank it and it's like I just drank a cup of juice.
You leave later on.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wifey gonna be like, ¿Y tú?
¿Y qué te pasó? You're about to get this Dulce. But you know, thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure, it's an honor. You know what I mean? I'm always here, willing, ready, and able, and helping anything I can. If you guys ever need me, you know what I mean? I'm willing to help in every possible way that I can help. You know what I mean? It's you know, the Dulce Lounge is here. You know, drink it. I mean, you won't be disappointed. I'll tell you that right now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, DJ Carlito NYC. On YouTube is DJ Carlito NY. SoundCloud is DJ Carlito NYC. Fortunately, I blocked myself from the NYC on YouTube because I got another one, and I just can't remember the
password.
You got locked out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. But you know,
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good.
So, you know what I mean? But thankful, you know, to be here. Thank you for the conversation. And again, you know, if anything ever comes along with the beautiful brand, I wouldn't mind.
We'll work it out. Great plug.
You know what I'm saying? So,
real shit. Like, thank you for pulling up. And Brooklyn needs to be proud to have you as their son.
Yeah, Thank you, man.
Understand what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Coming from Puerto Rico to claiming Bushwick as your own.
Yep. And I you know, I'm Puerto Rican now, but I consider myself Latino. We're one.
Dale.
That L turns into a one.
Dale.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, wherever I'm at, I'm from there. You know what I mean? Like I'll represent any culture. You know, even if it's West Indian, white, black, Asian, whatever, it don't matter. I'm there. You know what I mean? I'm one, and I support everybody and whatever it is. You know what I mean? As long as it's legal, I'm there. You know what I mean? And big shout out to my brother Obsession NYC. It's my good friend who wanted to be a DJ. Always close to me. He wanted to be a DJ, and very proud of where he has gone to. You know, he's at now. He's currently my videographer. He wanted to be a DJ, and I always like to do this because I know I inspire him even more to continue to do what he's doing. He wanted to be a DJ, and he started taking videos off his phone. And I was like, yo, bro, why you don't try videography instead? Because I know what it is to become a DJ. It's not easy. Try videography, and he's where he's at now, getting little bookings now. It's starting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I always make sure that my team is always good. You know, he's a big help in my career right now because all the videos that you see on my Instagram is done by him. So I always want to shout him out. Of course, my Heavy Hitter family, my Bully Sound family. You know what I'm saying? And you guys, you know what I'm saying? I just met you. You became family. You became family. The man behind the screen became family. And again, I'm here for to help anybody in any way possible that I can help. I'm here at your services. Dren, thank you. The Activation King.
Yay, let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
About to take this home now.
Love, bro. Appreciate you.
You know what it is? Dale, coño.
Let's just take some.